on the track, because that is definitely going to be an interesting one to say the least.
Yeah. So I see Shuffler's still got the Aston. So he loves that car.
Yes, he does. As we go through here, we got the audio working. Steve Labs doesn't love me. But hey, we got the audio back and we are good to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be seeing, as we see, Farmer is going to be the first person. He's going to be setting the provisional lap here. And he is out in the Nissan GTR, the Calsonic car. He definitely was making sure that I had the livery before the start of this race, everybody. As we watch him start his lap. As a driver, Andre Lloyd, what are the one things that you're looking for here in the opening rounds of qualifying? I mean, we have 26 drivers.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
wait, okay,
a little
well,
bit of a tap there.
to
Definitely try to
to
work with traffic here.
this is what you don't do in qualifying. How about
Yeah,
that? Just to start off of there. Um, Unfortunately, Farmer ran into the back of that Ferrari. But to answer your question, man, when qualifying, you kind of want to, not kind of, you want to do your same practice pace that you've done in practice and keep that consistency up. Keep a distance from the other person, which we saw that there was an issue there, but you constantly want to be consistent. Honestly, consistent laps. That's on Imola. Imola is very technical, so you have to keep maintaining that speed to have a good time.
that is very true with these cars. Definitely 26 drivers trying to get their laps in here in a 20-minute qualifying session. And pretty much everything is a hot lap. Right now, we have Christopher Shuffler here. He is coming into that final chicane before he gets towards that back half of this Sector 3 here at Imola. We are looking at a 30 degrees Celsius on the track, 24 in ambient air temperature, and the track is optimum. So let's take a look. Shuffler coming into the final two quarters. He is going to be our provisional pole sitter. Let's see what he does as he's about to cross the line. I think we're going to have one more ahead of him. 51, Mr. Alex Arduin. Arduin is starting his flyer right now. And Shuffler has
Looks like he
invalidated, but
invalidated it.
yeah, and it looks like he did. He would have set a 142.7. So interesting in where he would have put himself in here. As we see Tim Wilkins, he's in an Aston Martin. Roadside Cookie, he is in a Lamborghini here. He is one of our sister drivers from another league for the Apollo Racing Club. As Jim Billingsley puts the car up at pole. Let's see.
42-2.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's get the standings up for you, everybody. And there we go, a 42-2 with Felix Palant, your teammate
Yeah.
of the ORC League, putting his
Yeah.
car up into P2, and he just gets smacked by Andrew Jaschke up into that P2, and Jaschke is .003 off of Billingsley. So Billingsley
And
had a very good, strong showing last season in that GT3 when you drove the GT2 car to compete against you. You've gone toe-to-toe with him. What was it like racing against him during the races last season?
oh man, it was very challenging. Trying to keep up with them, to maintain the
Oh,
same speed he's doing. Um, Absolutely.
as we see Billingsley hit the wall, losing the back end on that top half of
Oh,
that hill. So right now we're with Anthony Molina, one of the overall championship winner of last season in the MACA. He wanted to test himself this season, and we have Spit 456 in the chat saying, "Let's go, Anthony Molina." So he has a little bit of a fan base here. But now Anthony Molina is in that BMW, and he's just trying to set laps the best that he possibly can as we start to
yeah,
see the times pile in.
that's right. I'm seeing. I'm also looking at Arduin just did a 41.9. So right now he's in the Porsche.
And that is the
Um,
old Porsche. So for those that don't know, we are actually running the Pit Skill IO BOP. So all the cars in ACC have been BOP. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That means if you prefer the 488 Evo and not the 296, that means you are going to get a bit of a buff and a balance. And now Arduin is tumbling down the leaderboard with Jashke Farmer
Oh,
and Jude Molina out qualifying
yes.
him, with Molina at the top in that BMW with a 41.5. As we
Wow.
see, let's take a look right now. Jacob Kulauzik in that other 992 Porsche. He is
Mm-hmm.
6/10 up on his time coming through the final two corners, and he gets onto the front straight. We'll definitely have to see what he's doing. And it says he's got a Porsche RB19 livery, but I do not see that.
Mm.
And it's going to put him up into P7 with a
Yeah.
42.5. It's interesting. The Porsches are looking really strong, which you'd be surprised with, considering the fact that the Porsche is not that good on that straightaway speed.
Yeah, but the Porsche makes it up in the curve. So in sector 1 is very good on the Porsche. I would say sector 2. But yeah, the Porsche can really handle the curves here pretty good.
And we see Stefan Buckley stretching that Nissan up to P9. So we now have two Nissan drivers racing with us. Arduin up to P2, out
I
knocking
see.
Farmer out down to P3. So the fast guys are definitely showing their pace. And one of our new drivers, number 14, Hamaz Guza. I'm so sorry, I butchered both first and last name. He
Yeah.
is about to cross the line, and he puts the Mercedes on pole with a
Wow.
41.3, 2/10 ahead of
Two
Jude
tenths.
Molina.
Wow, these guys are really pushing hard here, man. I mean, would you think we'd get to a 41 flat here with Farmer maybe, or?
That was the, I've heard rumors that some of these drivers have been able to hit 39s depending on the
Mm.
car and the track conditions.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard bits of testings of 41s practice. They were in 41s. Some were tippy-tabbling in the 40 section, but of course nobody really knew what was going to be happening. And now this is a big thing. But now Anthony Molina, a driver we were talking about before, he has yet to set a time. His last posted invalid time was a 43.4, and he's 1.3 up on his time, and that slots him up to P7 right now,
Okay.
6/10 back from our pole sitter, Gulzar. So he's definitely finding pace in that BMW. But the question is do you think after you raced with him last season, do you think he can hold up that mentality that when he had to use that McLaren through that whole season?
Uh it's going to be interesting. If you can, like I was saying earlier, this track is very technical, so you can't any slight mistake, man, you lose time, and you try to make that up. This track is not the type of track you can make that up. If I make like actually, I just watched Melania just go right off the track right now in the BMW. So
Uh,
Nancy Molina.
yep. And right now we have two GT2 cars, because right now I'm following with Alexander Nupp. He is going into the final two corners. He's going to get a nice fat toe out of this Macca with the BMW livery, and that's going to be, I'm going to guess that is, let's take a look, number 20. Okay, no, that's not Brian Katz. James
No.
Parks.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to guess
Yep.
that's his livery. It is James Parks, ladies and gentlemen, in that number 20. James Parks is probably one of the most gentleman drivers you'll ever meet in your whole entire life. But right now we have Stefan Achim. Yep, he is racing the GT2 Porsche. And then we do have another driver. I don't, unless he already qualified. He was in the KTM, but I think he may have backed out of the
Mm-hmm.
race. But right now we have Joshua Piask also in that Aston Martin. He's 1 second up on his time, and he originally looked like he was going to do a 42.2, but that was invalid. And that 42.2 would have put him all the way up in that P7 spot, right behind Anthony Molina. So right now, these Aston Martins are looking super fast.
They are, and I see now that Gazar, if I'm saying that right, is put down a 40.7. So he's the provisional pole leader right now.
He is setting fast, and Arduin is up 4/10 on his time. Right now, we're watching, for those that do not know, this is Alan Zhu, our livery creator for all those fancy GTMR liveries that you see, and those are all free to the viewers,
Nice.
and to the viewers as well as to the members within the Discord when you join. So right now, Alex Arduin's up 3/10, Alan Zhu's up 2/10, and in the Spectral, we have Dakota Smith in the 99 Ferrari coming through the downhill as he works his way uphill. He is up 1.8 seconds. His last time was a 46.3. So a 46.3 up. Now it's looking 2 into the final chicane. Can he hold it? Because if he can hold it and get 2 seconds, that 2 seconds will throw him anywhere between P19 and P22 here.
Okay.
So good strong pace out of that 296. I think the 296 is now the new favorite balanced car within ACC compared to a lot of the other cars that are in the game.
Yeah, it is a balanced car. I drove that 296. You have to wring his neck a little bit, but it's definitely balanced.
Let's take a look right now. The other biggest mover right now I can see right now is Alan Zhu, and we caught him at a good time because he is on the front straight and he is 6/10 on his lap. And that 6/10 will bump him up, hopefully past Dakota Smith. So right now he's going to have a little bit of a rivalry with that Ferrari, and he does. And thank you for the follow, Spit 456, big Anthony Molina fan. Let's take a look back up at the leaderboard. Gulzar is with a 140.747. Arduin slots himself back up to P2 in that older Porsche. 5/10, about 6/10 off the pace of our pole sitter Farmer P3, Jude Molina P4. His brother Anthony all the way down there in P8 trying to hunt him down. Both drivers in BMWs. Looks like they're both taking the pairing. They're both believing that they're the ORC drivers of this series, but hey, we only have 2 ORC drivers here in this series. Let's take a look at your teammate Felix Palant all the way down in P13 in the Lamborghini. So he's definitely swinging for the fences with that car, to say the least.
You know, Phil Brown, he was in the GT2 cars last season, and he's in the McLaren. And Phil Brown is actually one of our sister leagues called Podium Hunters.
Okay.
So he's in the top 10 right now. So we'll see how he's going to do tonight.
It is definitely going to be an interesting one, to say the least, especially with the BOP. A lot of people don't understand, even though that the times are a little bit off with about 5 minutes and 50 seconds left to play, anything is possible. As Perry Lewis is about to cross the line, and he slots himself up to P16, 2.5 off the pace. So right now the grid is getting tighter and things are starting to develop. Of course, you know, it's not like an hour-long practice session where things get to stretch out, as we see Lucas Cagnes in the Red Panda Racing Ferrari, the number 13 296, working his way on the top of the hill and now starting to work his way back down the hill here at Imola. He's up 4/10 on his time. He's in the hunt for Brian Katz here in that P24 spot. So, as he goes wide, he's going to lose it there, but he still has 5 minutes to go. He can still recover and try to save his tires as well. But let's go back over to your teammate, Mr. Felix Palant. He is 4/10 up on his time. He is he's one of the faster drivers here going through the final sector here. Now, a lot of the drivers that we've talked to prior to the start of the race, Andre, was their issues with that final chicane. With you being a driver, where do you see their issues with that final chicane can be?
Okay, so issues, I'm gonna tell you right now. Turning early when you get up to the left side before you come in and break up at 50 board, you got to turn in earlier than you expected to get in, and then you can't hop too much of that right curb too much. You'll spin out that back end. So it's crucial that you have balance with your throttle intake as you're coming across off and then going back to the left side and then coming back out to the right. So it's all about the turning in early.
100% agree with you on that one. right now we're waiting to see if Stefan Artyom sets a. Did he set a qualifying time? He has not set a qualifying time. He
Hmm.
is in that GT2 Porsche. And here's the funny thing: his last lap, invalid lap, was a 43.2. And that 43.2 would put him up by Perry Lewis and Stefan Buckley
Wow. Wow.
in that top 15 spot. He would be on P16 on the outside looking in with that GT2 car. And for those that do not know, here at GTMR, we do allow the GT2 cars to race against the GT3. We have an overall championship, so it allows the drivers to race without being worried of being like, hey, blue flag, move out of the way, hey, get out of the way,
Mm-mm-mm.
and stuff like that. So it allows these guys to battle it out, and it is definitely an interesting one, especially to see the GT2 and GT3 cars battle it out. And we actually have another Lamborghini, Louis Bernard, going through the final chicane in that Lamborghini. It looks like he's the CrowdStrike Lamborghini. He is hauling right now with the 99 Ferrari right behind him. He's in
I
P17.
see. Yeah. He's coming around the last. Is he on? Yeah, coming around to the last turn.
So if he has enough fuel, he will be able to get at least 2 more laps in before the timer runs out. So hopefully he's got enough fuel.
Ah, P15. He just moved up.
Yeah, it's about less than a tenth behind, 5 thousandths behind Felix, and then 2 tenths ahead of Stefan Buckley in that other Nissan car. As we see Jim Billingsley, a very fast driver that we had last season, he's about to cross the line. He moves up to P12, 3 thousandths
Yeah.
behind Jacob there in that P11 spot. So right now, Gulzar is still leading the GT3 series with a 140.7. But it is between 2 and 4. It is getting seriously tight right there between the Porsche, Nissan, and the BMW. And then we have LaRock holding it out there with the mighty maple syrup Lexus here,
Yeah.
working his way through.
You know what I like what I'm seeing here? Actually, there's a good balance here of manufacturers. What I'm liking in the top, like actually throughout the whole grid. I mean, you got a Mercedes, Porsche, Nissan, BMW, Lexus. Those are your top five right there. It's not like McLaren. You know, so this is gonna be an interesting race tonight.
It is going to be a massive spectacle to see. And thank you for the raid, Red Panda Pigeon Slayer, aka Mr. Cagnes, who is there in P26 right now that is sitting in the pits. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, viewers. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Myself and Andre Lloyd, a fellow racer here at GT Meister Racing. He's in the comms booth while he's waiting for all of his little fun sim racing stuff to arrive uh,
Yep.
to his house. And right now, let's take a look. Joshua Piasca, I apologize, not Jacob. Joshua Piasca up 4 tenths in the GTMR Aston Martin, working his way down the hill in that neon green color scheme. As you know, that's the interesting one on that downhill right-hander. You really got to be careful on the brakes, or you'll lose the back end, and then all of a sudden you are completely you're just gonna miss it, and then you'll push wide and you'll run off the track.
Yeah.
And that is definitely the hard part here. Let's take a look as he comes up to the final chicane. Oh, he's already through. I apologize.
Yeah. He went through there and he pretty went through it aggressively. So
He's
coming to the
showing
last turn
he's
now.
showing a 7 tenths right now. So that's 7 tenths.
Yeah.
If he can hold it, he'll be in the top 10. Can he keep it going? He's 9
Oh, look at
tenths.
that. Wow, look at
So
that.
out
He's
qualifying. He's up.
7.
Wow, right behind Andrew Jaschke. So right now,
Wow.
see, do we have any other flyers right now? We do not. Nobody's on a faster lap. Let's take a look. Jim Billingsley. He's up 2 tenths right now, coming out of that final, up to the final chicane here. So is Felix. Let's take
Yeah,
a
I'm
look.
on
Felix is
Felix
right.
now. Yep.
They're both neck and neck on the 2 tenths, and they are right near each other.
So he's finished P14.
So right
So
now,
the two Lambos.
Ooh, Jacob and Jim are both have the same qualifying time.
Wow.
So can Jim out qualify him? He came out a tenth slower. Can he gain the 10th to help him to get that P12 spot?
Wow. This is a
Oh,
very exciting qualifying.
it
It's so
is.
balanced.
It very much so is. It's definitely an amazing qualifying session that we have here. So let's take a look at here. Golzar up in your P1 are doing 2, Farmer 3, Molina 4, LaRock 5, Jashke 6, Piast 7. You know, it's interesting. Everybody talks about how the Aston Martin is not fast in this. You know what I mean? It's, oh,
Mhm. Oh, look.
uh,
Oh, uh-oh, rain.
uh, but only for the first 5 minutes. Okay, this is going to be
This is
interesting. I already know I'm
throwing a
going to be.
curveball.
It is throwing a curveball, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, you know what we always do before the start of the race? We always go through the grid and go down the grid walk. And this is for the first 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have Golzar in P1, Alex Ardoin P2, Farmer P3, Molina P4, LaRock P5, Jashke P6, Piask P7, Brown P8, Cookie 9, Anthony Molina 10, Shuffler 11, Jacob in that 12, Billingsley in that 13, Felix in the 14, Louis Bernard in the 15, Stefan Buckley in the 16, P. Lewis 17, up in the P18. He did qualify in that GT2
Mm,
car in that
mhm.
KTM, so that he definitely went under the radar for me, and I did not see him. Um, Now we have Colwall 19, Smith 20, Tim Wilkins 21. Um, Wait, where did I lose Tim? Did I lose Tim?
23rd is Tim
Oh,
Wilkins.
God, I'm so slow today. Go. And here we have, yep, we're all the way down to Tim Wilkins. I apologize. And then we have James Parks. And then we've got, who do we got down to 25? Alan Zoo, Brian Katz. And then we have Cagnis. Ooh, there we go, in last place. So in the final back part, seeing the little cat on there. And we're going to roll back through here, through the grid before we get back and rolling here on our formation lap. Now the question is I'm going to ask you, Andre, because you are the driver and I'm just the
Hmm.
commentator. What's your strategy? It's only going to be damp for the first 5 minutes, and then it's going to get dry. What are you
Well,
going?
well, what I'm going for, of course, I would have stayed on slicks. I hope they all did. And then let it let it dry, let it dry out. But at the same time, I'll be a little patient actually in the first lap, like just to see how anybody else in front of me is gonna play out, and then I'll take my move on them once they like any kind of problems they have. I'll take them, and then I'll start pushing more. I just take it easy with the tires first. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
No, I agree 100%. Now, I'm going to have to ask you, who are your 3 dark horses that you think could make a big upset in this race?
Upset. Well, I tell you, as I'm looking through here, I would probably say, man, I like Shuffler. I think Shuffler can show get him to the top there. And then I'm actually gonna see if Farmer, because he's very quick. Him number 2, and number 3. Man, it might be Jaxie. It might be Andrew.
I mean, Andrew is a master with that Aston Martin. He is known for racing front engine rear wheel drive cars. He is a bit of a dark horse. He is very quick with those cars, and especially with it being a little bit damp, will it be helpful for him? My dark horses, if I had to pick one up in the front with Farmer, would be Alex Ardoin. He is a
Hmm.
very quick
Absolutely.
driver, but the
Yeah.
question is can he use that quickness to strike on that Mercedes Benz, but we can't leave out um, honestly, we can't leave out your buddy Felix Palant.
Oh
He
no,
is
absolutely
he
not.
is
Yeah, yeah.
definitely a super fast driver as well. But the one that I'm curious about, and he was fast last season, but all our fast guys were in GT2 cars, is can Jude. Can
Mm.
Jude show the pace that he was dominant with last season? Because the issue is he was worried that he didn't have a lot of the fast guys around him, and now he has all the fast guys, and it's a little bit more of a level playing field for him to race with.
Yeah.
As we see the drivers coming through the final 2 corners before we start the season off here at Imola in the rain. We're gonna go heli cam for this one, boys and girls. As we wait for the green. Calm before the storm.
Mm-hmm.
Green, 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 and away we go, ladies and gentlemen. And Alex Arduin gets a nice start off the line compared to the Mercedes-Benz of Golzar. And down into turn 1, Farmer sending it deep, spinning Alex Arduin with the
Oh
bump.
no.
Jashy's going to collect, Shuffy's going to spin out, Arduin is falling back, but there's Jude. And it looks like there's a little bit of a cluster in the background with the driver, so now there's a bit of a shuffle in the background as Golzar is trying to separate himself. Oh, and it looks like
Oh
Cookie.
no, wait. So we have another. Cookie just went off track.
Cookie definitely not seeing the fact that Shuffy was right there and Joshua Piast as the 2 drivers. Actually, I think that was Joshua Piast that was making the move on roadside Cookie here as the 2 drivers are working. And now the rain has stopped, so now the dampness is going to start drying up here in this overall battle here as we see Louis Benara up there in that battling spot against everybody. So Louis Benara trying to take a striking at Billingsley. Billingsley trying to try to cover the inside. Louis Benara on the out. Ooh, this is going to be definitely a tricky one on this downhill left-hand corner here.
Especially a damp track.
So talk me through this right now, Andre Lloyd. What would be going through your mind in this battle as we see Farmer on the McLaren? Let's take a look as we go up here. It looks like Farmer got past Phil Brown.
Well, there's a at the chicane big accident with it was like Shuffler and a couple of cars. Felix actually avoided it. Somebody else got spun around.
Yeah, so Stefan Buckley right now battling with the 99 and the orange Ferrari here coming into the final right 2 corners in the KTM, and it looks like Cagness is making a move on one of the Porsche GT3 cars. Looks like he didn't make it succeed, and here they go down the front straight. And one of the Ferraris in the KTM both dive into the pits. So this is the strategy with the bigger pit thing, as we see. Looks like one of the Porsches.
It looks like the Millennium brothers went in. Anthony and the other brother.
Oh, the Molina brothers.
Molina brothers, excuse me. Yes, yeah. Molina brothers went in. Felix, like I said, how Felix is such a patient driver. He's already up to P10. I mean, he's moved up 4 spots. We have another car that's went off, a Ferrari number 34. She just went off the track.
That's going to be P. Lewis.
Somebody else just spun again. Wow. I guess they're pushing too hard on this damp track. I mean, it's still
greasy. It's greasy right now, and it doesn't look like it's raining. I don't see it raining here in the game.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Yeah.
So it must be warming up. It's just these guys on these dry tires, they're trying to capitalize on all the space that they can here. But right now, Christopher Shuffler is moving up the spaces here. And he still has Yashki in front of him, and he's working on that dry line. So
no, Felix just went off. He went off trying to come down, and he just lost 2 spots to Buckley and Canuck. He was in P9.
Yep, so right now, you see Felix, Stefan Buckley, and Canuck, and Kowal gets a 30-second stop going into the pit. What a shame there for him as well. As we take a look, looks like we have Roadside Cookie, Brian Katz, James Parks here as they battle up. Dan Smith gets a 30-second stop go.
Yep, I just
Or,
saw that too.
sorry, Dakota Smith. I apologize,
Yeah,
Dakota.
the number 99. I wonder what happened to Phil Brown. He's in P16 now. Was that part of the contact from the lap one?
I am guessing that possibly it looks, yeah, he's got a lot of front end damage on that McLaren. He's going to dive into the pits and he's going to go for the long strat here as he tries to cover himself from losing that whole front end. But right now we have a massive battle here that's developing for that P6 spot, and it's Billingsley and Louis Benara with Joshua Piasque losing the back end. Now he's going
Oh
to
yeah,
fall victim to Nup here in this battle.
yeah, and it looks like he got the pass done pretty good, but the Lamborghini is not giving up though. But he's pushing on the back of that Ferrari. Oh, he went wide though. Um,
Louis Benara.
Louis Bernard went no. Billingsley went wide.
You can start to see that line.
Yes, yes, I see the dry line now.
So now the question is, how much are these drivers going to want to try to fight to get off that line?
Farmer. Farmer just took over. Oh no, that was a back marker. Okay, number 99. Okay.
Let's take a look. Joshua Piasque. Looks like Stefan Buckley passed. Nope. Now on being attacked by Felix Palant. Palant
Oh.
taking a look. But is Palant
Mm-hmm.
going to try it on the inside? He
He looked.
sends. Oh, he
Yeah.
looked really hard for that corner.
He did. He did. I'm quite sure. What Felix. You know, being up, moved up 4 spots and then back down 2 more to P11. So I know he's pushing hard to get past this Porsche.
Now, we definitely are looking on the onboard of the back end of that Porsche. You definitely see the Lamborghini of Felix's car does not have that massive toe like he would before. And he is definitely fallen behind, and it seems like the Porsche is having a little bit better of a straight line speed of it. But now we're going to jump down with Perry Lewis. As Perry Lewis is on the attack, the 34 car of James Parks. James Parks goes a little bit wide. Perry Lewis makes the sneak on the inside around him.
Yeah.
So now Perry Lewis is going to have to make the attack on Katz as we approach through in this race. So we are 7 minutes into this race. The track is greasy and things are developing. Katz defending well on the inside of Perry Lewis and James Parks. And for those that know my commentary, you know how much I hate trees that are in the way of the camera. And that was one of them.
Looks like Ropik went into the pits. He's sitting there pretty long, so I'm not sure he's damaged. But
ooh, looks like Perry Lewis losing the back end or getting tapped. He kind of spun around, so the wetness is definitely tossing things up here in this race. It is definitely causing a little bit of a mixture here as we take a look. KTM is still in. The Ferrari is still in. Jacob Kowalski is still in. Phil Brown is still in. And Kowal still in. So these drivers know that they are still in. Alex Arduin is still in. So a lot of these drivers, yeah, they're pitting early. They're probably going for a super long strat. The track is greasy. So everything is a big mix-up. But right now, the battle is developing as we see Buckley, Nupp, and Felix Palant battling it down the front straightaway, down into turn 1. And the leader, Gulzar, is coming through out of the hairpin in that Mercedes with a commanding lead ahead of LaRock in that Lexus car. But LaRock also has Farmer and Andrew Jaschke right behind him. And those are two drivers that you do not want to fully let up off of in this battle because they will strike and make a move on you here.
Looks like Smith is taking his penalty. He's in the pits, and one of the GT2 Porsche number 3 is also in the pits. Actually, he's just leaving out now.
Ooh, as as we see Joshua Piast reeling in Louis Benara in that Lamborghini as the KTM pulls off to the track to let them through. So right now, this is going to help out Joshua Piast and Louis Benara in this battle as they come through the final chicane. Louis Benara going super wide. Josh taking a look on the outside. If he can work his way down this hill, he'll have the inside on Louis Benara. Side by side, Josh catches the grass, loses the front end. Does he save it? He does not. He goes into the gravel.
Ooh, man.
He's just got to be careful when he gets on there.
Yeah.
It's a little greasy on that outer edge, but the track looks like it's drying up significantly for these guys. So right now, 18 and back have already pitted. They've changed tires and taken fuel to go through. So this is going to be an interesting. Was it a strat? Go on wet tires? Fix. I'm guessing a lot of it was to fix the damage.
Probably so.
And
yeah.
to continue on in the battle. But right now, Farmer and LaRock are reeled into about a second here. So it's Lexus versus GTR. And those are two cars that you don't really hear about in ACC with the drivers these days.
That's true. You don't, but it's definitely a solid car. You know, I'm watching Felix trying to make up some time here, and he's on the back of Buckley. Buckley's in the Nissan, and just past the GTM car. I'm sorry, the GT2 car. So Felix is really trying to get on the back of Buckley.
He is really trying to reel him in, and Joshua Piast is also on the back end of Louis Benara. So there's a massive battle between these. And Joshua Piast, he's going to try it again. He's squeezing Louis to try to get as much space as he can. Louis is going to cover the inside. He's going to allow Josh through, but Louis does not make the same mistake Josh did. Ooh, Josh catches the dirt. Louis catches back up on him. Oh, here he comes out of the final corner.
Oh, boy, he's definitely in their toe.
So
he's thinking of thought he was thinking about it.
Oh, you see the wiggle out of that Lambo under the braking.
Got a three-way battle behind them, man. Buckley, Polant, and Canuck. No. That's a back marker. So that's a GT2 car. And the Ferrari. So
right now the track looks like it's dried across the whole entire track from what I can see. So things are developing great for these guys and growing. So that's definitely a good thing here in this race. Billingsley is caught up to Christopher Shuffler here in that Aston Martin. So now Shuffler's going to have to hold off Billingsley here in this race as they go in this downhill right-hander. So right now, 5 through 11 is developing super strong here in this battle.
Well, Billingsley just went off a little wide coming out of there, and he lost some time to Shuffler. You know, when I race Shuffler, it's really consistency with him. He's very he hit his marks. If you make any mistake like Billingsley just did, then you're not going to catch Shuffler.
And especially with how that Aston Martin is coming out of the corner. Yes, it's one of the slower cars to accelerate out of the corner, but it's also one of those cars that, because it's slower to get out of the corner, if you time it right, you can almost hit your mark every time when you come out of that corner. You don't have a wheel spin, you don't have any trouble, you don't have any wiggly. It's just nice and solid. Ooh, he got real close to that white line. I almost thought he was going to touch grass there for a second. But we're going to slide back down over here by Louis Benara and Buckley and Palat.
Okay.
Buckley's going to try the inside. He's going to take a look, but not make a move here. So right now, 8, 9, and 10 are battling it out with Joshua Piast pulling away. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the closest battle we have on track, are these three. We do see a Andrew Nupp, actually we see a Porsche in the background working its way around Cagnas's number 13 green Ferrari, but that is not a battle for position here.
Well, I tell you, the Lambo is sandwiched to Nissan, so we'll, we'll see if Felix comes up on the back of that Nissan and swallow him up,
Ooh,
for the
as Louis
next pass.
Bernard goes super wide, and as they work their way down the hill here and everything. But you can see that Nissan, it's quick in a straight line, but the question is it's just not there in the corners. And there was a question, and that was how much longer can that Nissan keep up with the tires? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've
I,
all raced against Buckley. He is a very good and successful driver here, and very consistent as well. But the question is can that GTR hold up to the Lambo? And Buckley does not go for it.
no, it doesn't. But you're right. I mean, we're 45 minutes in. I mean, 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes in and counting. And like you said, the tire degradation on the Nissan is an X factor, I guess you say. How he's pushing so hard right now, and he hasn't taken his pit yet. So we'll see how much he can push on these
He
tires.
gets a beautiful run. He sends it up
Oh,
on the inside, catches the
oh,
curves. He's gonna make it
nicely
stick.
held.
But now,
Nicely held.
but here's the other issue is like he was able to pull away, but now he's gonna have two raging bulls. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Lamborghini bulls. Because for those that do not know, Lamborghini is a bull, and you never know. You gotta educate. You gotta educate. So,
That's right. You do. You do. And that I have to say
oh, oh,
that was
oh!
a
Buckley
oh, he
loses
went
the
wide.
back end. He snapped a little bit. Now here comes Felix. Felix trying to
Felix,
squeeze through.
yeah, Felix, and he did. He did. So now, like you said, the Raging Bulls have pushed through Godzilla.
But right now, I bet you the Godzilla car is hoping for a little bit of droplet of rain here in this race. For a lot of people wondering where the rain came from, how is this possible? Things like that. At GTMR, we host similar to real life. We host the practice and qualifying on a Saturday, just like they
Hmm.
would in real life, and then we hold the race on Sunday to give you that aspect. Is there a possibility of rain? There's always a small smidge chance, but never enough to where you just hate your life. And we're just happy to throw a curveball to the drivers here in this race. But right now, Felix is being attacked by a
I
GTR
see. I see.
coming out of this corner.
I see. And if you know
Ooh, you can see the
Buckley gets the
reel
gets
in.
the toe. Yeah, look at that. Look. See, that's the speed of the Nissan.
Oh, that was
Step crash. Oh no.
uh,
Oh my goodness. Now I was watching that, but did Felix turn into him, or did Buckley turn into him?
if to me it looked like Buckley was trying to make a last minute move and rear-ended him. Um,
Oh
Ladies and gentlemen, to
man.
the viewers, I apologize for what you have just seen. That is not how the league is. I swear to you, and it's shameful for me to have to say that on the stream. Um, and yeah, it's yeah. But right now, we're going to drop back down here. And Alan Zhu is on the back end of Brian Katz. Now, Alan Zhu and Brian Katz are two good friends of ours
Yep.
in this league. And we've known them for a long time. And Alan Zhu, for those that you may not know, Alan Zhu loves his Porsche. And right now, he is driving this Porsche to the wall right now, trying to chase down Brian Katz here in this Ferrari. And for those that do not know, this is the few times Brian Katz is able to have some free time, because we want to say congratulations on the stream. I'm sure I probably said it last season, but we're going to say it this season. Congratulations to him and his wife on a newborn child. So
Oh,
congratulations.
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations on fatherhood. So he, of course, now this is his free time, is getting to race with us. So that's awesome to have him here with us here. But Alan Zhu is really putting the pressure on him, and it's interesting. I want to ask you, Andre, because Katz is a VR driver. Do
Okay.
you do you do you make, like, as a driver? Do you make different moves on drivers if they're a VR driver, just because sometimes they may not see it like you would like with a normal like triple monitor setup per se.
So, from my experience with a couple of VR drivers, I actually Phil Brown is a VR driver, and I take it in a caution approach because to me it's more of a blind double blind side for them.
Hmm.
So you kind of when you like with Alan Zoo's trying to catch cats, if he gets up to him, you kind of got to be a little more patient because he might not see him. So you just got to be patient with those drivers.
Okay. But let's take a look right now. Farmer and LaRock. Farmer now 5/10. He is chasing down the Lexus. And guess who's right behind him? Andrew Jaschke.
Uh
So
oh.
will LaRock reel Farmer back into Jaschke, which now it will become a little bit of a play here between both drivers battling it out. We have 40 minutes left to go. The track is green. It is getting warmer. We've gone
Mm-hmm.
up 2 degrees Celsius. It is technically
Mm-hmm.
10:50 a.m. in game time. It's cloudy and green, and Farmer is definitely pushing this Lambo to its limit. Now he's getting a run on that Lexus.
Uh oh. He's he's thinking about it. Now I wonder if he's going to try to take him in the sharp left turn coming up right now. Because I'm gonna tell you, LaCroix can actually defend pretty well. I raced him a lot, and last season when he was in the KTM, I had a hard time trying to pass that KTM. So we'll see how Farmer approaches this.
This would be a Canadian battle for these two drivers. Both
Hey,
of them are from Canada, so we'll definitely see
uh oh,
how that.
he looked,
He definitely looked.
Farmer
He
looked.
he wanted to make that move.
Oh
LaRock
no!
going wide.
Oh no! No, the rock went wide. This might be the advantage. Well, but look at that! Look at that power of the Lexus and the Nissan. These two cars are equally in speed. I mean, the Lexus has straight line speed just as much as the Nissan does. So,
Very true. And right now, Jaschke holds the fastest lap of the race. And that is going
wow.
to be a 142.855. He's 2/10 faster lap time wise compared to the top drivers. So right now, he is hauling, and he has a group in front of him that he wants to pass to get into that podium spot. But right now, the Lexus and the GTR are saying goodbye. Welcome to JDM power here.
And with the BOP, the Lexus got minus 33, kilograms. So that's making it even lighter on its feet.
Yeah, that is very true because we saw what the GTR was able to do against the Lamborghini. Um, so this is definitely playing out to be a good one. We're not going to forget Golzar, who is leading the race right now. The number
Yes.
14 car
Yes.
out by 15.4 with that Mercedes Benz. I'm very interested to know what his BOP is on that Mercedes.
Let's see. It is -9. No, I'm sorry. +9. It's +9. Excuse
Plus
me.
9.
+9. Yeah.
And you know what they say? Sometimes having more weight is super helpful with you to take care of the car. As we see Stefan Buckley in the chat, I sincerely apologize to Mr. Milan.
Oh,
I
Buckley.
misjudged the closing speed. I've never done that before. Um,
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
it is unfortunate. I understand the mistakes and things like that. I've had issues like that before where, you get the random brain fart and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I have to brake. And then next thing you know, before you realize it, you're doing the oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
That's true. That's true. I'm looking at LaCroix, and I mean, he pulled away a little bit from
Ooh,
Farmer. So
Jashke diving into the pits. He's going for the
I see that.
undercut here.
Yep.
But the
Yep, he
question
is.
is what happens if the time? I mean, we've gone up 1 more degree Celsius so far as the
Mm-hmm.
time ticks off. But what if this doesn't play out well for Jashke and these guys, the track starts now becoming green to optimum, and now they're able to push harder and faster, and then now Jashke's falling back even more.
Well, this is the gamble that he's taken.
Yeah.
Um, like you just said, the track is green right now. 36 minutes to go. I'm quite sure it's going to go optimum because the temperature is moving up.
Hmm.
So we'll see how that plays out for him. Um, now the pick game comes in play with Shuffler. Shuffler's in fourth now.
Yeah.
When is he going to pit? And it
Even though he is 15 seconds back, nothing against that. But
right.
anything can happen because we saw Farmer when Farmer was battling. He went into that second chicane. He ran a little wide, caught some dirt, and we've seen this before on drivers where they'll catch a little bit of dirt. The back end will
Mm-hmm.
step. The grass is slippery, and then they'll slide, and then they'll move around, and then it throws them completely off. You know what I mean? So where it's definitely one of those things where it's like, you know, how is that gonna? You know what I mean? That's gonna be a big one to help out with Shuffler as well, like you were saying.
Yep.
But right now, this is a close battle. Bingsley with Shuffler is
Yes.
reeling in as well. So right now, the power of the V8s, Alexander Nupp behind Louis Bernard, reeling him in as well. And then we have Roadside Cookie on Tim Wilkins, nose to tail. Tim Wilkins running the Aston Martin, a car that we usually don't see them in here. The track has gone to fast.
Yes. Yep. It has. So it's the last 20 minutes is going to be a sprint race. You know. So
That is very true. Jashki still holds the fastest lap. He's going to be on super fresh tires going into the second stint with the track heating up. Now the question is like you and I have talked, did LaRock, did Farmer burn up their tires too much?
oof, we're going to see. But I'm watching. That is Okay, 608. That is Wilkerson, and Cookie is right on him. Look at this. Is Cookie trying to get to get him in turn one?
There's a possibility, but Tim will hold. Definitely keeps a very solid line there. Going into turn one, you can see the Lambo getting that run out like we were talking about with the Aston being a little bit slower, but he's going to try to pinch him down into that
Uh-oh.
corner. Does
Here we
Roadside try it?
go.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Tim cuts the door
Oh.
right
Yes,
there.
he does.
Oh, Roadside.
Oh, wait, there was some
Cookie going.
contact. There was a little
Yeah,
contact right there. Cookie actually he muscled his way into that turn.
he did. He did muscle his way through, but now Tim Wilkins can put the pressure on him as well to move through there. This is the first time I've usually seen a little bit of a bump to push to get through in a corner,
Yeah.
but if you can make it work, you can make it work without fully damaging the person's car. It doesn't look like Tim Wilkins has a lot of damage, but Roadside Cookie is trying to save up as much time as he possibly can. He's now stretched himself to 6 tenths from Tim Wilkins here. So hopefully Tim can keep the pressure along here with Roadside Cookie. Nup on the back. Ooh, Nup dives into the pits.
Yeah, I
This
just
is
watched that. I was just watching that, and I was watching how Benora was holding it, and now Felix is trying to make up some time. So, when Canup went into the pits, Felix has got some open space now to try to come up and try to do something. But,
So
you
Farmer
know,
did get past LaRock right now. So
yeah, okay,
this is going to be an interesting one because Farmer is known to push the car to its limit. So
yeah.
he does have a little bit of damage on his car from that earlier lap one incident with Alex R doing. So how much damage is that? How much is that going to play into a factor? Is he going to get it fixed? But because right now he did pull a little bit from LaRock, but LaRock is not giving up in that Lexus there in that P3 spot as he's chasing him down. Jim Billingsley is still on the back end of Christopher Shuffler here as they come through this final chicane. Now we got 32 minutes left. I want to hear your view
Hmm.
as a driver. Let's say you're in the place of Shuffler, Christopher Shuffler. What are you thinking? What's going on in your mind? Do you follow the strategy, pit right now, or are you going, hey, you know what? Let me try to push it a little bit further, depending on your fuel load, or you really kind of just more of like, do you want to play all your cards?
Well, oh,
Oh,
we got to
Nup
stop
with a
and
30.
oh no, Nuff had a stop and go. To answer your question, if I was shuffler right now, yes, you have Billingsley trying to come to, for your position. But to me, with 30 minutes to go and Shuffler is pretty good with his tires, I'll just play all my cards. Like I'll just go in all the way, like pit with like 15 minutes to go or something. So
Now,
that's
but
how I
here's
see it.
now, but here's the interesting question, okay? For a lot of these drivers that went long, okay? For those that are new to GTMR, I'll fill you in. Welcome to the 11 viewers. You guys have been wonderful. For the people that have been hanging out with us for the start of the race, you guys are wonderful, and we're super happy to have you here. But at GTMR, we have a different style pit strat. It's a fixed fuel strat, fuel only, which means it's a 25-second pit to take fuel or 30 seconds to take tires. So if you are really good with your tires, as we see Shuffler getting a little bit of a wiggle, he's going to cover the inside. Billingsley's going to try the outer edge coming into the hairpin. Shuffler's going to make it hard on him and force him to take a different line. And you can see the way he did that line, he made Billingsley separate himself a little bit more compared to as we have the leader in the pits. But now, which one of these drivers are going to try to go the long distance and just hope for the tires to last? Because if the track isn't as optimum, it may not be as abrasive.
Well, you got the first top three guys in
Oh,
pits
Shuffler
right
in the
now.
pits.
Shuffler's in the pits, but LaCroix, Farmer, and Gusler, they're all in. They're in the pits now. So this is going to be interesting to see how Jackski is going to try to come back up.
So right
Because
now, Jashki has Molina in front of him, Jude Molina. So right now, this is a
right.
battle. Right now on the position here, and right now these front engine rear wheel drive cars, the BMW and the Aston Martin, are pretty much very similar to each other in essence. I would say the BMW can take the curves a little bit better, and I'd say the Aston is just a little stronger with being able to be balanced handling the corners, in my opinion, due to its rotational ability of a high rake compared to the BMW. Um,
Yeah.
but the question
But
is
with the
where are they going to come out of the pits? Because right now, LaRock is just coming out of the pits right now. Farmer is out of the pits. He is ahead of which looks to be Brown and Cagness, or Brown and Katz. We're looking, okay, so we had a little bit of a spike with the,
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing
but it's
a
starting
lot
to,
of spike.
yeah, it's starting to trickle down though. It's starting to trickle down.
So Billingsley hasn't pitted. Okay. Pulaski hasn't pitted. So
So right
I
now,
know goals are Tim Wilkinson and Lewis. So Farmer, LaCroix, Molina, and Jaxie and Shuffler. I mean, this is going to be interesting. All
so
right, so
Billingsley
Billingsley
is,
just went into the pit.
so
Yeah, he
right
just went in.
now, remember, Jude Molina dove into the pits in the beginning. Him and his brother dove in way before everybody else. And right now,
Right.
Jude is in the battle with LaRock and Jashki here in this fight. Tim Wilkins and Perry Lewis and Piask and Billingsley. Okay, Piask and Billingsley are in the pits. But right now, between Tim Wilkins and Perry Lewis having to dive in the pits, we're having a massive battle here between LaRock, Molina, and Jashki here.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at those three. They battling right there, all three of them. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because what we were saying about 3 minutes ago, because everybody pretty much pitted with 30 minutes to go. I was trying to say when you asked me a question about Shuffler to go maybe the last 15, but that's definitely has changed now. So
That is very true. And right now, Andrew Jashki is taking the fight to Jude Vincent
yes.
Molina. And Jashki, is he going to try a move on the inside? He looks, goes for the possible out break, doesn't.
Mm,
And he is definitely on the prowl to get after that BMW. He
oh,
knows his pace against
he's,
LaRock, and it is eating him up. As you can see, Piast he's going to come out, and he's going to be P9 right behind Christopher Shuffler. So we're going to quickly, no, oh, wait, hold on. He's got to wait for the timing board to roll him down a little bit.
Oh
But right
yeah.
now, Alex are doing one of the other head league admins here at GTMR, and Christopher Shuffler, one of the other head league admins. Those two are known for battling with each other. They're nose to tail with each other right now. Here in a second with Arduin in that old Porsche chasing him down.
Yeah, I see that. So Shuffler 7th. Jackie's moved up to 6th. Now, before he pitted, was he in the top 5? Or no, he was in the top 3, right?
Oh, as Katz and Jashki get into it right there, that's going to drop Jashki back.
Ooh.
With a little
Oh
bit
no,
of a,
somebody. Yeah, yeah.
looked like Katz, they had a little bit of an incident.
Yeah.
Looks
I
like,
just saw that.
yeah.
So I'm looking around here. I'm trying to see. But the KTM is holding his own right now.
So right now, Katz is on the front straight. There's Shuffler and Alex Arduin. Right now, nose to tail, right next to Brian Katz. And
Okay, I see.
Arduin is putting the pressure. Oh, Katz definitely, he's braking a little early to allow Arduin through here as they go into turn 1 and 2. Anthony Molina having a little bit of the McDonald's internet syndrome here. I'm sorry, Spit 456. I know you're Anthony Molina's friend and viewer. We're so thankful to have you here. But it's true though, his internet is really red. As we see Alex Arduin in that old Porsche. He really loves that old Porsche. I do know that for a fact. Ooh, as he catches a lot of the dirt.
Catch a little dirt. But we'll see how Shuffler's going to handle this, defend it.
Yeah, and Farmer has caught Tim Wilkins in that P2 spot, so even though Tim has yet to pit, so it's going to be an interesting one to say the least.
If Shuffler does not, you know,
Arduin
there he goes. Arduin looked for it. Yep, he did. Going into the chicane. Maybe he was trying to do a little ghost move or phantom.
Do a little bit of that fake out.
Yep, the fake out.
Here he goes down into.
Now this is a tricky. I mean, this is all trail braking here. Oh, he goes in this side. Oh, he makes the. Oh, he made the move. Nice. What a nice move by Arduin.
But now here comes Shuffler. Shuffler could get the run on him coming down.
Yes, he can. That's true. Can he get into the toe? I mean, because the Porsche doesn't have the straight line speed that Aston does.
From right now, my onboard, he is getting a massive
toe.
Goes.
Here he goes for turn 1. He's on the, but Arduin's got the inside for turn 1. Definitely went too wide, actually. Just to give him some, a lot of space. Now, sector 2 for this Porsche, he will get away. That's the strength of the Porsche in sector 2. But he made that move by braking very well, trail braking in, and he did a exceptional well move on Shuffler.
Andrew Jashki now retakes fastest lap here. Let's take a look. We have Nupp and Kowal. Porsche on Porsche action here right now. So Alexander, so this is for P19. These two drivers in the 992 class for the 992 car, they are battling it out. You know, the one thing I do wish that 992 had, I wish it had an adjustable front diffuser. Nupp's trying to take a look on the outside.
And wait a minute. Whoa.
Is he going to make it stick?
He tried to take it in. I mean, wow. But looks like he's going to make it stick, getting ready to go into the chicane here. And he does. So, oh, wow. He hasn't given up.
No, he has not given up. You definitely see there's not really a lot of damage on that Porsche
Here
that
we go.
cannot
Late
pass.
blanket. Oh, but look at this. Look at this. He got him. Can he hold it? Can he hold it?
Oh, he's
Oh,
oh, he does make it
wow.
stick,
Wow.
but now Kulowski
Well,
can make it, can make a fight back.
Porsche on
And
Porsche. I mean, why not?
but the question is it now becomes who's the bravest down into turn one. He's gonna take a look. He backs out of it.
Yeah, he did. That was beautiful by both of them. I have to say.
Oh,
That was
that was
really
very
good.
beautiful. I mean, Canup definitely put on the pressure. I was gonna say if he made that move stick on that downhill right-hander, I was gonna say that would be the overtake of the race because that
Yeah,
is to do that on the outside. Inside is one thing. On the outside is another to make on
exactly.
that move. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna run back down the order of who we have as we. Oh, Jude Molina gets a drive-through.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. That's
It
gonna
is
hurt.
definitely gonna hurt, but here we
But see,
have. Go ahead.
ooh, that put Andrew up into P4.
Yep,
If wow, this is getting good.
this is definitely gonna be looking good. But how much is that gonna hurt him, especially with the battle that we know Jude and Anthony have between each other in these races? Because this could cause him. He could come out right where Anthony is, and then now we'll see a little bit of a teammate on teammate action between the two
Mm-hmm.
brothers. But right now we have Hamaz Gulzar in P1, Mr. Tyler Farmer in P2, Mr. Alexander LaRock P3, Andrew Jashke P4, Alex R. Dewan P5, Christopher Shuffler 6, Billingsley 7, Jude Vincent Molina in P8, but I think he's going to get possibly swamped up. He is. Jashke's going to, Piaski's going to take 8, swapping
Mm-hmm.
over him. So now Molina's going to lose out a little bit, and he's going to lose out pretty big. Ooh, as he comes out a line. Matt Bird says Farmer is washed in the chat. The only thing is washed is Burns' ability to race anything other than an LMP3 in iRacing. And I know he's feeling that burn because I'm serving
uh,
it all day like a pizzeria. As we see Louis Benara in P10, Roadside Cookie 11 in his debut race here at GTMR in his return after 2 years. Anthony Molina P12. Real good performance here. I would have told him to just stick with the Mac and not followed his brother. Um, Felix Palat in P3, P13. Real big move
yeah,
up since the start of the
yes, he
race.
did. He
Um,
did, and from that big accident, he's making some ground.
he is making some ground here as well. Albert Gohina is. It shows that he's P14, but it shows Perry Lewis as P14. So there must be a little bit of a. Oh. All right. No one. Okay, I know what I did wrong.
What's that?
I shouldn't. Okay, there we go. Overall. Okay, there's the GT2 cars. All right. I shouldn't stream anymore. It's fine. So there we I was like, man, it's showing that he's P14 as we see Perry
Right,
Lewis battling in
right.
P15 as he's working his way around the track. We got Tim Wilkins in P16. A big mover for Tim Wilkins. Um, And then we've got Phil Brown here in P17. A nice recovery race after a lot of that damage on the front end. Looks like he
Exactly.
still
Yeah,
has
him
a
too.
little bit of it. As we
Yep.
see, let's see Matt Byrne in the chat laughing my ass off. Fair, you're gonna get me back into ACC at this rate. Well, I mean, I don't know why you'd want to come back into ACC anyways, Byrne. You were never fast to begin with. We only carried you to championships. Uh, I mean,
What up? What up, Burn?
Byrne, we've got Andre Lloyd in the chat for those that do not know, a fellow driver of ORC as well as GTMR. One of I would say my good friends. He is here racing. he is here in the commentator's booth while he's waiting for all of his Fanatec upgrades and fixes to get to him as well. We got Brian Katz in P18. It looks like we got a car off the track. And it
Oh
looks like
yeah,
it's a
that's
Porsche. The
is that
996
our
of
doing?
nope, that's Kowal there in
Oh,
the
that's Kowal.
P25.
Okay.
As Matt Burns says, pound sign pay to win. Yeah, I guess that's the only way that you've gotten championships, Burn, is you've paid to win. Alexander
Uh,
Dubb in P20. James Glasky in that P21. James Parks, P22 in that Mountain Dew McLaren. Stefan Asham in that GT2 Porsche. He's been very quiet in this race. That's my fault
yeah.
because I didn't see him racing
Yeah.
there. Dakota Smith P24 holding it in there. Colwall P25. Cagnus is out as well as Stefan Buckley is out. Stefan Buckley says he's so upset he could have taken a top 10. You know, things happen, Buckley. All we can do is just shake it off. And just move on as we see Billingsley now on the back end of Christopher Shuffler with 15 minutes left to go. And this battle is back on and raging on here as the GTMR Aston Martin is trying to hold off this Ferrari of Jim Billingsley. And now with the 15 minutes left to go and everybody's separated, now we just got to figure out is what is going to happen. Are we going to get into optimum? We're already up to 28C. Who took the tires early? Whose tires are ballooning? What's the damage like? So what now, Lloyd? What are you like? What's your thought process right now if you're in that same spot? As we see,
Wait a minute.
Shuffler.
Oh no, we just lost Shuffler. Looks
Did
like
he
DC'd.
He DC'd. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, he just DC'd.
What a shame there.
Well,
I really feel for that right
that's
now.
unfortunate, man, because he was pushing hard to get up to our doing, and sorry, Shuffler. But the last 15 minutes, man, like you said, you know, my tires, how am I pushing? You know, with this rate that these guys are going, and like for example, like Billingsley, he was trying to catch Shuffler. He's gonna, and to me, I would just push as hard as I can, and then if I have to turn up my TC up some to get more traction, you know, to get the tires to get some more traction, I would. But it's all or nothing, really. It's what you got to do.
Yeah, and that's true too. As we see, well, it looks like Alan Zhu is falling back a little bit, but Alan Zhu is now under attack by Kozlowski in that Porsche. We've got 3 Porsches in a line with James Parks. Is he going to try the outside around the hairpin? And we have a tree in our way. He kind of closes the door a little bit on Alan Zhu to make that move.
But you know, but Alan though, what I like about Alan, he says, I'm going to race hard all the time, and you're going to have to earn it to pass me. So
yeah,
I like that, and it looks like he got it done. So, but now you got is that Canuck? Who's that?
No, that's
behind?
Kowal in the P24.
Oh, that's Kowal. Okay.
And the
There's
nice
another
thing
Porsche.
is, and the nice thing with Alan Zhu is you'll know is Alan Zhu's not going to push it and risk it in the race here. He's going to, you know what I mean? If he knows, okay, hey, look, I got a guy behind me that's pushing like really hard, like Kulowski, who's really pushing to the limit, you know what I mean? He knows, hey, look, you know what? I'll sacrifice this one place so I can get a good result, good finish, and not ruin my race, which is really smart. And I wish, I honestly wish a lot of drivers, I'm not saying all of them should give up a spot, but I'm just saying, like, if you're in that spot where, you know what I mean, a guy's pushing too hard, you don't have to fight them all the time to try to get that spot, just let them through. You know what I mean? You could save yourself right there. I think Alan Zhu left his blinker on, and Kowal's probably like, so am I going? Are you letting me, or what's going on? But let's take a look here as we have Brown, Phil Brown now on the back end of Tim Wilkins as they work their way up the hill here, up to this final chicane. with 12 minutes left here. Now that McLaren is,
Wow, he just ate those chicanes. He just ate it.
which you'd be surprised with, you know. Oh, Phil Brown,
Oh,
he's going
but
on the
look,
grass.
but he's getting squeezed. He's got squeezed. So well, I'm not sure if he's gonna like that.
Well, you know, he fully wasn't side by side. I mean, it's all debatable. It's all
Right,
debatable. But
right.
at the same time, you know, Tim Wilkins, you know, he races you respectfully and hard.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, I've raced them.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, what I mean, it's one of those things. And that corner is just really weird because you're coming on high speed, you're a little bit off camber going in there. You know what I mean? But no, I agree. It's definitely going to be tough. But right now, Brown can push him a little bit hard here,
Mhm.
especially with
Mhm.
that McLaren. But with that
Yeah.
BOP, now what's is the BOP hit on that McLaren compared to that Aston Martin?
So the McLaren got plus 20. So and I think the Aston is minus 2. So the extra weight is not really helping the McLaren because the Aston is really holding well as we saw with Shuffler and we see with Jasky. It's got really good straight line speed. So Phil has to really work with
Ooh,
him in the turns to really get Wilkinson
very
with that
true
weight.
there. We saw Phil with a little bit of a wiggle. He
Oh,
slid a little bit on that
nice.
understeer coming out of down that downhill right-hander. So he's got to be a little bit careful there with that pushing of that McLaren because he could probably chew up the tires. And
Well, when you got that extra weight, you're going to slide.
oh yeah, that is very true there as well. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our closest battles other than Kuask going up against Brian Katz. He's about 6 tenths back from Ryan Katz. So we're just going to be riding along board here until that develops a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still watching Phil.
Let's take a look here. Where is Brian Katz? He did get past Brian Katz. So we're going to jump back aboard Phil here with Tim Wilkins. Now, where's Perry Lewis? Perry Lewis is already through turn
uh,
two. He's through turn two in the first chicane here of the first turn. But yeah, I mean, that Aston Martin is just carving up those corners very easily. They're going to have
it,
Dan Smith up here, number 23, and Tim Wilkins is going to try to capitalize that on that. Oh,
oh no!
as both drivers go in the
Oh!
dirt.
They
So
both going to dirt.
so here goes Phil Brown. Is he going to make it stick here through this hairpin? He doesn't. You see a little bit of a wiggle there. So with both of them going into that shallow run there into that corner, that allowed them to allow Tim Wilkins to hold off that charging
Yeah.
Macca there.
And I know Phil was like, I can't believe it. I run off too, and that was my opportunity to get
Oh,
past
he's
him
gonna
after
take
he
a
ran
look on
off.
the
Whoa! Oh,
inside.
did they hit? Oh, did they hit?
Oh,
Did they hit?
I think Phil may have turned his wheel a little bit to dodge Tim Wilkins' car
Okay,
going
because
down into there. Um, oh,
he's definitely pushing.
he is pushing very hard. As we also see Felix Palant
Oh
is
yeah,
now.
let's take a look. Let's take a look at my teammate here. Yeah, he's P12 and he's is that a BMW? Oh, that's Molina.
That is Molina there all the way up there. We may switch over to them real quick as we have Shuffy Racing in the chat. Damn it, DC got me. Was an
Ah,
incredible race.
Shuffler.
Love the
It was,
mixy
man.
start. Shuffler, we'd love to have you in the comms booth. Come on and join us, sir. I know you got DC, but hey,
Uh-oh,
you're a part of this.
uh-oh.
Oh,
The game is something just ooh. On my screen, everybody twitched, it glitched. But it look like it's back now. Oh, wait a minute. Felix is okay. I thought Felix was trying to go on the outside, but he's back into the chicane.
as we
So
see,
he is really trying to push on Molina. He really is.
he is, and welcome to.
Oh, wait a minute. So look, I think Felix got it. He's
He
going to
is.
the
He's trying
inside
to
of the.
stick it on the inside here
Oh, they
into the
bumped.
corner.
They bumped. No, they bumped each other going to that last turn. But looks like Molina's not giving up here as we're going down the straight. Um,
As Molina's going to
does the
try to hold.
Lambo? Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. It looks like
Yeah, I was
Molina's
just
going to try it on the outside. He holds off the brakes, but Felix covers off on the inside.
that. Hey, that was great. I think by that was good. I mean, he caught him at an off time when he went off a little bit. Because that's the thing about Felix. Felix would capitalize on your mistakes quickly. So that's one of his strengths.
That is very true right there. And we are going to welcome into the chat Mr. Shuffler here into the race, Shuffy Racing. Sadly, we lost him a little bit in this race due to a DC. Mr. Shuffler, please talk us through the race. I know it's saddening to have you fall out, but I mean, you had a wonderful race, buddy. You had a wonderful race.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's computer things. I guess after I got out of the game, I can hear people in the background, so I'm sure there's a lot on my Wi-Fi, so that's why it DC'd. I don't know. It's never done that before. It's my first DC. But no, overall I was happy with my performance. First time back on ACC in like I don't know, a season and a half. So I was pretty happy with that, and the Mixie Star really played into my hand because I stayed on slicks. I knew that it was going to dry out quick, and I just tried to stay clean as possible. So I just unlucky. I was having a good battle with Billingsley. He was pouring the pace on right before I DC'd, and I was like, man, I'm just going to try and park this thing in the middle of the road till the last to the line. But unfortunate. But it was fun. It was really good. I enjoyed that battle.
Well, you know, Shuffler, when I was watching you from the first stint, you were pushing away, man. I mean, like the Aston was holding its own. Like and I think it was Jack Andrew was that what he was battling with?
He was battling with Jim Billingsley.
Oh, Jim Billingsley. Okay, because
Yeah.
the first stint, I was like, wow, look at Shuffler. He's doing his thing. So.
Yeah, it was a good first stint. I was real happy with it. And then you can only do so much with the pressures, with the cold ambience and the water on the tire, and they grained pretty hard. It was just, and the setup was just a safe setup that I built from an old 1.8 setup. So I just played with some dampers and some toe settings. I ended up dropping the rear wing, which I really think helped me on the straight because you can get gobbled up coming out of the final corner going into T1. So I think that helped me a lot there. But just trying to stay clean, and I started to find a rhythm right before the pit stop, and then coming out, I got hung up with some traffic, but I was just trying to stay out there. But it was a fantastic race. I really enjoyed that Mixie start. I love that type of stuff.
So overall, how was the BOP racing with the new BOP with all the older cars, and now you got the newer cars and everybody?
I'm always a fan of the BOP. It just gets rid of that meta. That whole hashtag meta, because who wants to see a McLaren Cup? I mean, that's just boring to me. So I love the BOP. There's all kinds of different makes and models going around the track, all in similar pace. So that's just fantastic to see, just like you would in the real world. So it's exciting to see.
So right now we have Alex Ardua trying to get around Tim Wilkins here. And Phil Brown is trying to capitalize on Alex Ardua making the move around Tim Wilkins. And Tim is like, yeah, nope, this is not happening. Phil, you can sit behind me. And right now Tim Wilkins is holding off Phil Brown here. But does Phil get the run on Tim Wilkins here? Yeah, we definitely saw it was definitely an as Josh Pias gets a drive-through.
Oh,
and now
no.
we still have 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. The question is how many of these top runners are going to also get drive-throughs here in the race?
Exactly. You know, it was interesting. Duffler, you made your pit with 30 minutes to go, and at the time, we were talking about you, and I was asked the question, how far can these guys go? I thought you were going to go another at least 15-minute mark.
I usually go long on the first, but my whole mindset was I haven't touched ACC in a long time. And I don't know the new physics and the updates and what. I literally had to sit here for like 30 minutes while I downloaded all the new stuff because I haven't been on in so long. So I
Right.
was like, you know what? I'm just because I was looking on SimGrid and initially I thought it was a tire stop, and then I was quickly reminded in chat that it was a fuel stop. So that changed my whole thing. And so I just went 50-50 on the fuel.
Oh,
And
Brown loses the back. He gets a
Oh
snap.
no.
He is really pushing to get past Tim Wilkins here on the downhill right-hander. I apologize for cutting you
No,
off here.
no, no,
But the
absolutely.
battle
Good.
that's
is
fine.
he's
No.
got Jim Billingsley right behind him chasing. Brown is now pushing with 1:27 left to go. On the downhill left-hander, he was sideways power sliding. So the question is how much more is he going to push? We knew this was going to come down to the end here in this battle here, but this Aston Martin with this new BOP is definitely
It's
holding its
nice.
old on
It's
this
nice.
Macca.
Yeah, and not only that, Exia, this track really takes on especially the chicane. Your tires take a hit. So with the under a minute to go, Brown is pushing hard. I want to know how much tire he's got left, how much pressure, because he went over the chicanes like it was nothing.
Yeah,
The
here he
tires felt
goes.
good after this first stint.
Super late on the, oh, he rear ends Tim
No,
Wilkins.
he hit him. Oh no.
But I give him a lot of respect for waiting, allowing Tim to get back on the track.
Yeah, yeah.
It sucks.
He just had too much speed coming in. I mean, Phil, I've done that. When you're locked in, and then, matter of fact, I did it at Watkins Glen against Andrew, and when he came into that bus stop, and I was just in his zone, I just didn't let up, and bam, it seemed like the same thing Phil did.
Felt like he had a better run coming through there.
Yeah, yeah.
He did have a better width, even though that the Mecha does have that heavy 20 weight. It does have a very strong ability to brake super late compared to the Aston Martin's high rake setup and stuff like that. But the question is Phil gonna make the attack here at the end of the race, or is he just gonna be like, you know what, I kind of screwed the pooch here. I'm gonna let you, finish ahead. That's the big question. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll have race drama here for the league. But everything develops here in this league. But a lot of us are all good friends here and good racers. But here we got Tim Wilkins coming through the final two corners here. Your race winner, Hassan. Ooh, Brown definitely. Ooh, Tim Wilkins allows him through. Don't know if he may have missed the braking zone, but there, Phil slides right past Tim Wilkins. So let's see, where is the leader? The leader's coming through the final chicane. So wait, does that mean they're going to have one more
Yep.
race? And now Tim Wilkins. So let's take a look here real quick. Ooh. Looks like there's a little bit of a lag. Ooh, Phil Brown catching the dirt a little bit. And here you go, your finisher, your winner, Hamaz Gulzar, in his first race at GT Meister Racing
Congratulations.
in that Mercedes P1 there.
Congrats.
Farmer coming down the hill. Looks like Stefan Buckley is going to finish out his race. Cookie finishes out in P8. Louis Benara P9. And then we're going to have the two Nissan GTRs about to cross the line together here for a photo finish here at Imola. Definitely awesome to see these two older cars here finish out this race here. LaRock in the other V8 JDM car here in that Lexus with a strong performance as he's about to cross the line. Andrew Jaschke, he's about to cross the line as well. Alex Ardoin in that Porsche. He's going to have a GT2 Porsche, pretty much the big brother version of his car. Those two drivers are about to cross the line as well. Brown gets a drive-through before the end of the race.
Oh, he must have cut his third cut.
Billingsley is going to cross the line for that P6. And then Vincent Molina will finish out in P7. Perry Lewis all the way down in P13 here. Felix Palant gets a top 10. Anthony Molina with that early pit stop. He's going to slot himself into P11. Gionia, a new driver in the KTM. will slide himself P2. Brown gets a 30-second stop, 30-second penalty. Tim Wilkins in the 14. Jacob Kozlowski, he's going to pull into the 15. Andrew Nupp in P15. Zeus will be in 16 as we start to cycle through some of the people leaving. And we'll definitely get the rest of this grid here in this finishing order. Zoo 19, Catch 20, Parks 21, Ashim 22, Smith 23, Kowal 24, Shuffler, you'll be finishing out 25, so you'll still be able to finish out with some
There you
points
go.
here
Well,
in
hey,
this race.
got
Buckley in the
something.
26 and Cagness in the 27, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have it for our top three. Gulzar, Farmer, and LaRock here at Imola. It's been a spectacular race here so far, ladies and gentlemen. And honestly, I think everything was completely spicy. What's your thoughts, Andre?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from qualifying all the way to the end. I mean, yeah, especially with the nice throwing, monkey wrench in there with the rain and the start of the race. So it had everything in there to make this a real awesome first race of the season. I enjoyed it, and
100%.
then and thank you for inviting me, Exia.
You are more than welcome to jump in here and be a part of this comms booth. It is truly an honor to have you guys here as well.
Thank you.
Shuffy, I am so sorry to see that you got
Yeah,
disconnected,
Shuffler.
but
Yeah, it
hey,
happens.
I'm hoping to see you in the next race for next week to have you jump in and be a part and be in a battle for this. With us, it was definitely, um, you know, I
It,
feel like we're gonna see a resurgence out of you here, especially with
yeah,
with how the Aston Martin is.
somehow I historically start bad and then have to make this big climb up a mountain. So I'll see what I can do. I don't have any reason not to race unless work gets involved. Because I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing a lot of work, staying late, getting ready because it's track and show season. So I'll do my best to make it. But it was absolutely fantastic race. It's good to come back to that. Come back to ACC with that type of race.
Nice.
Well, we're happy to
Welcome
have you.
back.
We're definitely happy to have you back, as well as the viewers, as well as the stream. My name is Axia, and I'm with Andre Lloyd and Christopher Shuffler. We're going to be calling on tonight, and we will see you next week, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we'll battle it out on ACC. Check us out on SimGrid, and definitely and you'll find a link for us to join our Discord. We also do ACC on PC, iRacing on PC, as well as ACC Xbox that races on Sunday nights, where we have usually about 40 to 45 cars a race. So if you guys want to participate, for those that are watching that are on console and want to race with us, you can definitely join us and race with us on console, where you'll be able to join a pool of about 2,500 drivers from around the world and still be able to participate here in this wonderful Discord. So I'm signing off, and I'm going to say good night. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night as well.
Everybody have a good night.